in for another Ravens touchdown. That's 4 touchdowns on 4 drives. They're the first team in the league to do so this season. 28-0 before you get into the locker room. These are old feelings for the Lions, one they know too well. And just when you think your team's infallible, well, there's Mark Andrews again. His second of the day, 35-0 Ravens. Lamar, 21 of 27, 393 in terms of total yardage, 4 total touchdowns. Mac, what did you see out of the MVP caliber play here from Lamar Jackson?
I saw a sense of urgency, and I think it's safe to say throughout this season, this was the first MVP-like performance from Lamar Jackson in this new offense led under Todd Monken.
We had seen flashes of it on that day when there were 7 drops. He was delivering the football here. The drops are not an issue, nor is the scoreboard. A 32-point victory over the previously 5-1 Detroit Lions. Now both of these teams sit at 5-2 on the season. Lamar Jackson in his career now 16-1 against NFC opponents. Back in studio to break this one down alongside Bryant McFadden, Joe Musso here. B-Mac, there are convincing wins, and then there's something beyond it, and that's what we saw here out of the Ravens. A comprehensive effort. The run game was a part of it. The pass game was sterling silver as well. I mean, talk to me about Lamar Jackson and how he aids both aspects of this offense when the play calling is flowing the way it was today.
I mean, he's at his best when he's a +1 in the running game. I know, I remember going back to early offseason discussions in regards to this new offense. They were saying that Lamar would be more in the pocket, right? And he's not at his best when he's just a pocket guy. Allow him to use his athleticism to get outside the pocket, either quarterback design runs or improvising on the fly, and that's where he's at his best. Remember when he won the MVP some years ago, it wasn't just solely because of his throwing of the football. It was about what he provided for their offense, running the football, improvising, and we saw that today for the very, very first time. We saw Lamar Jackson looking like the MVP Lamar Jackson that we saw years ago. And also, too, remember the Achilles heel for their game last week, right? The inability to score in the red zone. Today, red zone football was outstanding. 5 of 6, if I'm not mistaken, and they were able to cash in touchdowns. Last week, they had to rely on Justin Tucker. I know firsthand because I have Justin Tucker on one of my fantasy teams. He was huge a week ago. This week, it was all about extra points, you know, and that was something that they wanted to improve on, and they were able to do so against a playoff caliber team in the Detroit Lions.
You allude to last week, Mac, even more impressive. Last week was abroad. This is a team coming off that London game and performing this way against one of the top teams in the NFL. We often sit and think, what would the Ravens look like in a full performance? This is exactly that.
No question.
First of all, I just want to say, humbly, to God be the glory. You fight and you compete, and you know, we have a lot of guys have their faith, you know, and it's a big part of the National Football League. It's a big part of what we do. And when you have an opportunity like that, just to be grateful for the graciousness of God and the grace that He gives us is a valuable, wonderful thing, and our guys feel that way. Also, I want to mention Muhammad Ibrahim and the injury, so we'll be praying for him tonight and hope he's well. Proud of the guys. Mark Andrews, I don't know how many touchdowns they have. Bunch. 2? Seemed like more. You know? But that should have been. I like the way you're thinking. I like the way we're thinking. So what questions you have?
John, you've heard everything that people are talking about, the Lions and their double-digit wins, things like that, double-digit victories and points. Do you feel the way you guys came out today, was this a statement game in any way for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can define all that stuff the way you want, and that's cool. You know, we're going to just define it in terms of what we think we're capable of playing like. And I promise you all the different things in that game that we feel like we can do better. But the things that we did well, you know, we stand on and we build on, and things we can do better, we got to take with us out to Arizona and find a way to keep getting better. So that kind of creates a vision for what we can be, but let's go be even better.
Do you remember the last time you guys played that complete of a game in your mind?
I haven't been thinking about that right now. I haven't.
You normally, when you win the toss, you'll often defer, and today you chose to have the ball. Is that a matter of trying to set the tone, or what went into that decision?
That was a win thing. We felt like we wanted to set ourselves up so we could possibly, with the wind blowing the way it was, that we would have the choice to take the win in the fourth quarter if we wanted to. That's why we did that.
John, speaking of performances, you've been around a lot of Lamar Jackson games. How would you describe that? How do you rate that performance today?
Well, you know, every time we have a win, my dad texts me. He says, "That was your best win ever." You know, so I'd say that was his best game ever. You know, but he played a great game. There's been so many great games, but Lamar got the Lions spike, along with all the guys making plays. It was wall to wall. It was wall to wall from the beginning to the end.
Coach, what's been most impressive about Lamar's growth as a quarterback?
You know, so many things. I just think everybody's got their own unique path, and everybody wants to make comparisons. I mean, Lamar's his own unique person, style, challenges that he faces, all those different kind of things. I just think he's very determined, very persistent. He's not even that. I don't think he's even that happy with the game. When I see him in the locker room right now, it's not like he's all giddy in there, is he, Mark? No. Sure wasn't. He's thinking about the plays that he could have had. There he comes in here. See, right? He's thinking about the plays he wants to get better at. So that's how all our guys are thinking right now. That's how they should be thinking. But Lamar, I just said it. I said my dad always says the last, we win. He said that was the best game ever. So he asked me where it ranked. So it's the last one, so it's the best one, right? All right.
John, what went into the decision to go for a 4th and 4 on your initial drive?
4th and 4? To go for 4th and 4? 4th and 1. The one that we did the thing, yeah. We thought our plan was to go for 4th and 1 or less in those situations. We weren't going to go for 4th and 2. Our plan strategically early in the game was to be 4th and 1 or less once we got down in there close enough.
John, you didn't lose the day of preparation, but you had a long flight back Monday. You've been on the road 3 straight weeks. You come back. Kind of how pleased were you with how your guys handled that? And could you tell in practice this week that they were really dialed in and any potential concerns about a London hangover weren't legit?
100%. They were locked in from day one. Every single guy was completely locked into practice. We had 3 excellent practices. I'll tell you, one thing about these guys, there's no turning to the right nor to the left. They are like this. That's how their focus is right now, every single day. You love it as a coach. That's how they feel. That's how they go to work. I wasn't even thinking about it. Everybody kept asking me about not taking the bye or whatever. There you go.
John, you guys have had the pass rush production really every week. Do you feel like that's been an area where you guys have been particularly resourceful and you haven't necessarily done it the same way every week?
No, I think we've done it the same way every week. Those guys are bringing it with a real viciousness about the way they're rushing the passer. I mean, they're bringing it, and their technique is getting better. The timing on the stunts and the blitzes are better. The individual moves are better. And Chuck Smith's done a great job. Anthony Weaver's done a great job of coaching those guys. But we got some legit pass rushers. I mean, just give the guys credit. Give the guys who are rushing the quarterback credit. Start talking about them, because I think they deserve it.
Coach, 2 weeks ago was the drops in Pittsburgh. Last week it was all talk about the red zone and all that stuff. To make these quick corrections in a week-to-week league, what's that say about your team?
I don't really not into any big overarching themes. I just think you got guys that they said it afterwards. You go back to work and these guys are capable. Our guys, we have playmakers. We have tough guys. We have physical players. We have smart players. We have guys that, like we said, are focused, that work really hard, and we have playmakers. So nobody's surprised. We just want to keep stacking it. Just keep improving and keep stacking it.